The Ohio football team is getting a new turf. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Marie Manessi.
And I'm Jada Respris. Welcome to Newswatch, your source of news impacting Southeastern Ohio. A new abortion ban is in West Virginia and now heading to the state Senate after passing the House. The ban makes providing the procedure a felony punishable up to 10 years in prison. The debate between lawmakers lasted hours while protesters chanted outside the chamber. The House nearly voted 46-43 to add an exemption for victims of rape and incest up until 14 weeks of pregnancy. The exemption also requires victims to report their assault to law enforcement. The bill provides other exceptions for an ectopic pregnancy, a quote, non-medically viable fetus, or a medical emergency. Intel may soon be ramping up its investment in Central Ohio after the Senate voted to approve the CHIPS Act yesterday. The legislation would set up incentives for domestic semiconductor manufacturing, research, and development. The bill provides a 25% tax credit for companies that build facilities in the U.S., as well as allocate more than $50 billion in funding to the initiative. The Columbus Dispatch reports Intel announced in January that it will invest $20 billion to build 2 semiconductor factories in Licking County that will employ 3,000 workers. CEO Pat Gelsinger says the company's investment in Ohio could reach $100 billion, but only if the aid package is approved by Congress. It now moves to the House, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi said it should have the votes to pass.
I'm Peyton Simchek, and in Athens right now we are looking at 85 degrees. We have been sitting in the 80s for quite a while, and it is pretty fair out right now, but we did see some drizzle move in and out throughout the day, and it is pretty humid as well, so that's shooting our heat index up to 85 degrees, so it is pretty hot out there. And as for our current temperatures throughout the board, we are looking at mid 70s to high 80s. In Athens, we are looking at 88 right now. And as for our local radar, as you can see here, we had some light to heavy rain moving in the southeastern area, moving through Athens and through Parkersburg and beyond. And we are still sitting in that flood watch, but we'll see if that continues in my full weather forecast.
Thanks, Peyton. An expected record number of first-year students are attending Ohio University this fall. Newswatch reporter Olivia Roman has more on what university's housing and dining departments are doing to accommodate the class of 2026.
The large influx of incoming freshmen this fall means Ohio University's Office, Housing, and Residence Life and the Culinary Services Department are getting creative to house and feed an expected record number of new students. The university says it made sure it was using all of its spaces as effectively as possible.
We went back into our inventory, identified those spaces that by design have been built to be triples. Over the course of the years, we've been using them as doubles. We've converted them from doubles back into triple spaces.
It also decided to allow some sophomores originally assigned to live in Reed, Ewing, and Dugan to either live in buildings 36 and 37 of the River Park apartment complex or find other housing off campus.
The location of those facilities are right adjacent to South Green. It truly serves as an extension of South Green, still provides students access to all those direct resources that students need.
Those students choosing to live at River Park will be provided furnishings and will pay the same price as if they were living in OU housing. Over at Culinary Services, the department is reopening dining spaces and cafes and continuing using technology launched because of the pandemic.
I think the most significant is that in Nelson Court and the district over on West Green, when we open for lunch at 11 or 10:30, depending on the hall, we will remain open through the dinner hour.
The university is also bringing back the Hungry Cat, a food truck. With more open locations, Culinary Services says it will need more workers to staff those locations. But one good thing about the record number of new students, finding new workers should be easy. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Olivia Roman in Athens.
The Friends of the Shelter Dogs organization is working to help place adoptable dogs in Athens County. Newswatch photojournalist Ethan Clark spoke to volunteers about how they give back to dogs in the community.
I'm on the board of the Friends of the Shelter Dogs. We'll send dogs that are very adoptable to rescue. We get them vetted now so they're much more adoptable, get them groomed. Athens County is still a really hard place to place adoptable dogs. So we spend a lot of time and effort getting fosters for them so there's more room, finding rescues out of town where they can go, so that we just keep room open for whenever they keep coming in, because it just never stops.
The Friends of the Shelter Dogs works very hard and is completely funded by the population here in Athens County. We have charity events, but oftentimes it's just the day-to-day folks giving $1, giving 50 cents, giving $5 that keeps this organization going.
Everybody can relate to dogs, right? Everyone loves dogs, and so this is a great thing for our community. And we're very fortunate because everybody opens up their arms and their wallets to help out.
Coming up, a new economic report points to a possible recession, while weather disasters sweep different parts of the country. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
On America Outdoors. This region is where the first European colonists arrived, and the first enslaved peoples. So if I want to explore how the outdoors have shaped me and my country, there's no better place to do that than here. And no better place to start than in a swamp.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, who's a model king of the monsters?
Godzilla has become the ultimate pop icon. The monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, the market has come down a little bit on those model kits versus while Godzilla is appreciating because just how cool is Godzilla? Everybody loves Godzilla. He's my favorite.
Find out more next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
I'm kind of the family historian.
On Finding Your Roots, Jimmy Kimmel.
I videotape my relatives. I keep all the family photos.
Marissa Tomei.
I love my particular family's heritage, our traditions.
And John Turturro.
In my family, nothing surprises me.
From Italy.
It took so much courage.
Either courage or desperation.
To a new life.
Wow.
Italian Roots.
It's a big journey, big time.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
A new economic report is out and could signal a coming recession in the United States. But the group of economists that officially declare a recession have not yet done so. Isabel Rosales reports on families already feeling the effects.
Make sure the butter doesn't melt.
Dawn McKelwey can't imagine things getting worse under a recession. The unemployed mom of four already relies on her local South Los Angeles food bank to feed her kids.
You really don't know what you would do, what anybody's going to do, because I'm not the only one that would be suffering. Everybody else is suffering too.
But some economists say we could already be in a recession, pointing to bleak economic data released this week.
One of the most critical 48 hours for the U.S. economy in recent memory.
On Thursday, the latest gross domestic product data showed the U.S. economy shrunk for a second quarter in a row. Economist Joe Brusuelas says that meets a historic definition of a recession. But the group of economists who can formally declare it and look at multiple factors could take months to act.
Recessions are never good, and there's going to be some pain involved, meaning higher unemployment, loss of income, and some dislocation across the economy.
It comes one day after the Fed raised interest rates again, aimed at fighting off white-hot inflation and those skyrocketing prices.
These are the blueberries that we get from there.
But for McKelwee, higher costs at the grocery store are already eating up too much of her budget.
I spent close to $400, and it wasn't even hardly on much meat because meat is so high. It was just like bread, juice, and stuff for my kids' snacks. It was ridiculous.
If there's a downturn, Reverend Norman Johnson from First Christian Fellowship Baptist Church says the already struggling LA community he serves will be hit hard.
The issue is inflation. It's not so much the shortage of food, it's the fact that people can't afford it.
Reverend Johnson says he's seeing an uptick in the number of families showing up to the weekly food bank and anticipates a bigger influx if a recession is bad enough where people start losing jobs.
We really saw it in the pandemic, and the ethnic variety changed. It wasn't just black and brown. We had Asian, Anglo, and so forth finding their way down to South LA to get food.
Meanwhile, the Fed has hinted more interest rates are coming, and that means soaring borrowing costs for first-time home buyers like Jose Cañas.
It is a little scary, obviously, because we're going to be paying a little bit more in interest.
Cañas was approved for a loan in April with a 4.75% interest rate, but is now choosing to wait until his girlfriend finishes nursing school to reapply jointly.
Now we're seeing interest rates as high as 6%.
The fear and hesitation is real among home loan applicants.
So what do you think about those pre-approvals?
New American Funding reports mortgage applications are down significantly in July compared to the beginning of the year.
About 30% drop in applications on regards to purchases.
The R word out there is creating this sense of fear in a lot of consumers.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
The White House disagrees we're in a recession, pointing out the strong labor market. Wild labor has swept across the U.S. In Kentucky, torrential rain has triggered life-threatening flooding. In Portland, temperatures are reaching over 100 degrees. Meanwhile, in California, firefighters are beginning to contain the wildfires in Yosemite National Park. Jen Sullivan breaks down the severe weather across the country.
Heavy rains causing devastating flooding in eastern Kentucky. Roads turning into rivers. Several homes and businesses now underwater.
Hundreds will lose their homes, and this is going to be yet another event that it's going to take not months, but likely years for many families to rebuild and recover from.
Parts of the Bluegrass State drenched in more than 8 inches of rain overnight, triggering flash flood warnings. Officials caution people are missing.
There are a number of people that are unaccounted for, and I'm nearly certain this is the situation where we are going to lose some of them.
In the Pacific Northwest, scorching heat. In Portland, temperatures soaring past 100 degrees. The record-breaking heat may be to blame for at least 2 deaths. It's an area where many homes don't even have AC.
I'm 70 now, and for the first time in 70 years, we have a house with AC on it.
Meanwhile, in California, a glimmer of hope as firefighters begin to contain the oak fire near Yosemite National Park. The blaze singeing more than 19,000 acres and destroying more than 100 structures. But as crews make headway in containing it, residents breathe a sigh of relief.
It symbolizes that we are getting help, and people ought to know that when fires come, don't panic.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
August is just a few days away, and millions of children will soon return to the classroom. This comes as COVID-19 cases are rising nationwide, fueled by the BA.5 subvariant. John LaRink reports how new research shows that many students are still not fully vaccinated.
School is back in session in Newington, Connecticut, where students and teachers were greeted with signs saying facial coverings are necessary for most of the day.
Coming back, it's going to be great to see them and their smiling faces, well, when we take mask breaks, but just to get to learn with them instead of being through a computer face to face.
According to a new CNN analysis, less than 50% of children and teenagers are fully vaccinated against COVID-19, with only about 10% getting booster shots. That's a trend the Biden administration would like to change.
Every person aged 5 and over should get a booster shot.
But a survey released Tuesday by KFF shows 37% of parents with children between 5 and 11 years old say they will not get their kids vaccinated. 28% of those with 12 to 17-year-olds say the same. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization is calling on people of all ages to roll up their sleeves.
If significant numbers of health workers, older people, and other at-risk groups remain unvaccinated, deaths will continue, health systems will remain under pressure, and the global recovery will be at risk. This is not theoretical. This is real.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Coming up after the break, napping may be bad for your health.
And should you get your umbrella back out of your closet? Find out in my full weather forecast.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, who's a model king of the monsters?
Godzilla has become the ultimate pop icon. The monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, the market has come down a little bit on those model kits versus while Godzilla is appreciating because just how cool is Godzilla? Everybody loves Godzilla. He's my favorite.
Find out more next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
On country music.
There was this saying, blues had a baby, and they called it rock and roll. And I always said, yeah, and I think the daddy was a hillbilly.
2 new careers are launched in Memphis.
When it comes to music, Memphis has always had a little more soul. It's in the gumbo down there.
And 2 legendary women come to Nashville.
When you hear her sing, you feel the emotion in every lyric.
When country music continues.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
On America Outdoors. This region is where the first European colonists arrived, and the first enslaved peoples. So if I want to explore how the outdoors have shaped me and my country, there's no better place to do that than here. And no better place to start than in a swamp.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
I'm kind of the family historian.
On Finding Your Roots, Jimmy Kimmel.
I videotape my relatives. I keep all the family photos.
Marissa Tomei.
I love my particular family's heritage, our traditions.
And John Turturro.
With my family, nothing surprises me.
From Italy.
It took so much courage. Either courage or desperation.
To a new life.
Wow.
Italian Roots.
It's a big journey.
Big time.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
We've been seeing some on and off sunshine throughout the entire day. In fact, I was out earlier and it was sunny for a little bit, and then these dark clouds started rolling in. But you know what, we've been all over the place, honestly, and it happens today. We did see a temperature high of 85 degrees, so we're still sitting in the hot 80s, but we do have a temperature low of 67, so it is supposed to cool down. And it was partly sunny today because we did have some drizzle. We do have some light and heavy rain moving into the southeast area through Athens and into Parkersburg and through the southeast area. And as for a wider scale here, we do have some light to heavy rain moving in from the north and the west into our area. And following that, we are seeing some cloudy skies, and it is in fact supposed to be pretty foggy later, so if you're planning on driving anywhere special, it might not be the best night to do that. We might even be getting some flight restrictions on top of that, so it might not be your best night to get out there and drive somewhere. But we might even be getting some rain too, because we are on a marginal storm risk. So it's not a big risk. It's nothing to really fret about, but it's still, there is still a chance that it may happen. We could be seeing some storms tonight because we are still in a flood watch in the Athens area and in surrounding areas. South of Athens, we are still seeing that chance of flooding, and that could continue into tomorrow. But for tonight, we do have, we are going to have some showers after sunset. Around that time, the rain will be returning, unfortunately. And we do have an overnight low of 67, so it is going to cool down, but definitely expect that rain to return to us again. And for tomorrow, we do have a temperature high of 80 with a low of 60, so we are still in the 80s. It is still going to be pretty hot out outside, but it is going to cool down. But we do have another chance of showers, so that rain is lingering. But we do have a bright day coming ahead. There's light at the end of the tunnel because Saturday it's going to be partly sunny and it's going to be a high of 82 with a low of 60. So Saturday might be your best day out of this bunch here to get outside, because wrapping up the weekend, we are continuing into that streak. We are back with another chance of showers on Sunday with a high of 80 and a low of 64. And starting off next week, we have another chance of showers with a high of 80 and a low of 64. And moving into Tuesday, we are seeing a chance of thunderstorms, so that's coming back, and we're shooting up into 84 degrees, so it's going to be hot next week. And that's moving into Wednesday. We are going up into the high 80s. It's going to be a high of 88. On top of those thunderstorms, it's going to feel pretty muggy outside. Keep that in mind. And as of Thursday, we are going to be at 93 degrees with another chance of showers. So honestly, Saturday is looking like your best day to get outside.
Thanks, Peyton. Taking a nap is known as a great way to rest up and relax. However, napping could be a sign of some serious health risks.
Cole Higgins reports on a new study that links frequent napping to a higher risk of developing hypertension in today's Health Minute.
It's no secret that sleep is deeply connected to one's overall health, but a new study has found people who nap regularly have a greater chance of developing health risks. The study used data from 360,000 people and found that participants who typically napped during the day were 12% more likely to develop high blood pressure over time and were 24% more likely to have a stroke compared to people who never napped.
Why might napping be linked to stroke? And is it really a cause, or is it a symptom of something else?
Dr. Kristen Knudsen, an associate professor of neurology and preventive medicine at Northwestern University, says taking naps isn't harmful, but doing so often could be an indication of underlying health conditions.
If you are feeling really sleepy during the day a lot of the time, you should really talk to your doctor to try to understand why is it that you're not feeling rested after a night's sleep.
And to help get a restful night's sleep, Dr. Knudsen says try the following.
Keeping your bedroom dark, quiet, cool, not too hot, trying to keep a regular bedtime, avoiding caffeine in the afternoon, avoiding bright light, including not staring at your smartphones right before you go to bed. I wouldn't throw the nap out completely. There's a lot of cultures that nap as a part of their typical daily pattern. So we need to understand what kinds of nap and the reasons for nap before we panic and think all naps are bad.
For Health Minute, I'm Cole Higgins.
Most of the participants in the study who took regular naps are smokers, drink daily, have insomnia, snore, and are more of an evening person.
Coming up in sports, the Ohio Bobcats are getting a new football turf for this upcoming season. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, who's a model king of the monsters?
Godzilla has become the ultimate pop icon. The monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, the market has come down a little bit on those model kits versus while Godzilla is appreciating because just how cool is Godzilla? Everybody loves Godzilla. He's my favorite.
Find out more next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
I'm kind of the family historian.
On Finding Your Roots, Jimmy Kimmel.
I videotape my relatives. I keep all the family photos.
Marissa Tomei.
I love my particular family's heritage, our traditions.
And John Turturro.
In my family, nothing surprises me.
From Italy.
It took so much courage.
Either courage or desperation.
To a new life.
Wow.
Italian Roots.
It's a big journey.
Big time.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
Now on Passport.
What are you looking for in your life?
There's an important story that needs to be told.
Is it a sense of your own destiny?
Choose your story.
Try to help create change in some way.
It's a beautiful thing. Not very many people get to see.
Once you come into the neighborhood, you are a part of the family.
You can be a good person or a bad person. It's your choice.
Stop complaining and go actually do something.
Now you can stream even more documentaries with Passport on the PBS Video app.
On America Outdoors. This region is where the first European colonists arrived, and the first enslaved peoples. So if I want to explore how the outdoors have shaped me and my country, there's no better place to do that than here. And no better place to start than in a swamp.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
New year, new turf for the Ohio football team. A new turf is being put down at Pedon Stadium ahead of the upcoming football season. The last time Pedon's turf was renovated was in 2005. The new and improved turf will be ready for the Bobcats to open up its season against Florida Atlantic on September 3rd. Former Ohio baseball player and Major League Baseball player Steve Swisher is getting recognized for his work on and off the field. Swisher was a member of the 1970 College World Series team and acquired 2 MAC championship titles. He started his MLB career with the Chicago White Sox after being drafted. In the first round, he continued to play in the major leagues until 1983, when he retired. He now owns a baseball academy called the School of Dreams Baseball Academy. Swisher will be recognized on Saturday, October 22nd during the football game against Northern Illinois. The Reds come to a close to a win today against the Miami Marlins, losing 7-6. The Reds were leading for a majority of the game until the 9th inning when the Marlins put 3 runs on the board, which made the score 7-5 with the Reds trailing. The Reds were only able to put 1 run on the board in the 9th. The leading contributors for Cincinnati included Tommy Pham with 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run, and Tyler Naquin with 1 hit, a home run, and 2 RBIs. The Reds play again tomorrow as they face the Baltimore Orioles in the first game of the series. The first pitch is set for 6:40 p.m. The Cleveland Guardians are in a 2-game win streak and looking to extend it tonight when they play the Boston Red Sox in the final game of the series. In the 9th inning with 1 out, Josh Naylor hits 1 over the fence and secures Cleveland the win. Nolan Jones hits 1 over the fence and secures Cleveland the win. Nolan Jones was a big contributor for this game. Jones went 3 for 4 with 2 of those hits being doubles, in addition to an RBI. The Guardians take on the Red Sox tonight with the first pitch being set for 7:10. So guys, Ohio's getting a new turf. What are we thinking about this new turf we're getting? Do you think it'll bring any luck for this upcoming season?
I'm super excited to see the new turf. It looks really nice so far, and hopefully it can bring some more wins this year for the Bobcats.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what games will be played on this new turf. I'm happy about it.
I know. I got a few looks at it. I like it. I like what they're bringing in. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, it has been since 2005, so it has been kind of needed to get this new turf in.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
All right. Thanks, Peyton. A Honduran soccer player has built up 75,000 TikTok followers by breaking into soccer fields. Many fans think Roger Casalejo looks like Manchester's United star Cristiano Ronaldo. The 22-year-old Honduran soccer player came to fame just 3 months after his friends pointed out that he looked like Ronaldo. Casalejo embraces the fact that he looks like the Portuguese soccer superstar. Roger plays for a semi-professional football club in northern Honduras and one day dreams of playing alongside Ronaldo in the English Premier League. And now, Peyton, to our final weather.
We're going to be cooling down a little bit more tonight. We're going to see that overnight low of 67. But these fair skies, they're going to be leaving us soon because we are looking at a chance of showers. And tomorrow we have a cold front moving in. So we should be expecting about 1 inch or 2 of rain tomorrow. And we're still going to be lingering in that flood watch. So, you know, I might be locking myself in tomorrow. And I might be bringing myself right back out on Saturday because it's going to be partly sunny with a high 82 and a low of 60. And we are back into that chance of showers and thunderstorms for the rest of the next couple of days and into Thursday, and we will be bumping up into the low 90s on Thursday.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Marie Manesi.
And for Jensen Neck, Peyton Simchek, I'm Jada Respris. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.com.
Support comes from Visit Athens County. More information can be found at AthensOhio.com. Athens, it's more than a place.